stealing your joy. It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare. We're killing them after cuffing is quite fair. Democratic, Republican fight, yeah. I'm living up in this nightmare. It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare. Nightmare. What's up, guys? It is none other than your boy JGiddins the Father. I want to start off as usual by reminding you guys to be positive, optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle, as that is necessary in order to ensure that positivity is included in your future. Today's video is really going to be the first day of the rest of my life on YouTube, right? And the reason I say that is because what I plan to do going forward is to start having sessions with you guys that I like to title Nightcap with JGiddins, or JGiddins Nightcap. I don't know, some variation of that title. But the purpose of the video, as you all know, a nightcap is pretty much like something soothing before you go to bed. It's generally referred to as an alcoholic drink or like warm milk. At least that's what I've read that it refers to. I will be that for you guys before going to bed at night. I'll make sure to do a video every night where I sort of sum up everything that I've experienced that day, or just kind of go over certain things that I may have or have not saw that day or seen that day, and give my perspective on certain things. It's also a nightcap for me, honestly, because my day is pretty long. For those of you who know me, know that I work 3 jobs and support children. So it's a little bit rough for me on a regular basis. So this is a good way for me to sort of defrag and also combine that with keeping up my relationship with my audience. So again, thank you guys so much for your viewership. If you're watching this right now, I really appreciate it. I look forward to having many more of these nights with you guys. Happy belated Veterans Day, by the way. If you are a veteran, I appreciate your service much more than our current president does and acknowledges. So happy belated Veterans Day. Today is November 12th, 2019. It will be November 13th probably in about an hour because it is pretty late. But today is November 12th. Today is actually the day before the public Trump impeachment starts, or they start holding public hearings for the Trump impeachment, which I'm really looking forward to. A couple things I wanted to bring up to you guys about things that I've experienced today. When I'm at work, I typically have YouTube playing in my ear and I'll listen to certain things. One of the videos that I saw, and I'll try to leave a description in the I'll try to leave a link in the description for you guys so that you can have a way to reference anything that I bring up. The Dreamers, I think that it's important that everybody see this. The Dreamers were very vocal outside of the Supreme Court today because there was a ruling, or at least there was a hearing on a case involving the death of migrants at the border, or the killing of a migrant at the border. There's been so much death at the border. I mean, at this point, we lost count. But there was a huge protest outside of the Supreme Court where there were tons of DACA recipients, or DACA members there, and people that support DACA, and just people of all walks of life were there. I think it's just really important for us to understand the unity that is available in our country. That is what Andrew Yang is sort of trying to promote. By the way, shout out to the Yang Gang if you guys are watching this. Yang always comes first. Hence the Yang 2020 hat. Nakasek, Nakasec, which is basically like a American. It's a non-profit organization for American or Korean Americans. And I learned about Nakasek today when I was watching the Dreamer video that I'm suggesting that you guys check out. And I just want to give a shout out to anybody who's familiar with them, who is affiliated with them, because the positivity that I felt emanating from them was vast, and I really appreciated being able to see people of all walks of life feeling the same way that I feel, in terms of wanting everybody to be on one accord in terms of humanity in our society. Make sure you guys check out the public impeachment hearings, which start tomorrow on November 13th, 2019. For the most part, when I watch those kind of hearings, I typically watch them on YouTube via PBS NewsHour or Washington Post. You could also go to house.gov or Google house.gov, and it'll take you to the website where you can view all of the hearings that take place in the House of Representatives. Jesus Christ. For those of you who don't know details as it relates to why we are trying to impeach Donald Trump, it is primarily due to the fact that there was a quid pro quo, right? Which is Latin for, the Latin, I believe it translates in Latin to something for something, or favor for favor, or something like that. But Donald Trump basically reached out to the president of Ukraine and offered him, or basically told him, unless you investigate Joe Biden, who's an American citizen, obviously, we're not going to give you funds, which had already been appropriated by Congress to go to them. So because of that, which is obviously illegal, they have decided to move forward with impeachment. Personally, I think that it was cowardice, or it was a cowardly move to wait this long to do it, because it just sort of added credibility to his argument that he's not doing anything wrong. You know, it's like somebody kicked in your front door and you're like, well, I'll wait for more evidence that they're going to rob me. And then they pull out a gun and you're like, well, I'm still not 100% sure. And then they come over, hit you with the gun and say, bring me all your money. And then you say, okay, I think we might got him. That's what Nancy Pelosi did with Trump's impeachment. So, guys, make sure that you check that out. Again, it's very important that we see that, because it's really not just about impeaching Trump as it is about watching our country unfold, watching the way the masses respond to seeing Donald Trump breaking the law. You know, we can't forget that this is a country that supported slavery. You know, this is a country where the government actually had laws that, you know, equated me to an animal because of my skin color, and it was backed by the government. So, you know, the idea that Donald Trump's racism may take precedence over him being unfit for office is not something that's out of this world. I don't understand why people are so shocked at the racism and the people that are just denying his wrongdoings, because, you know, the I don't know, I guess the racism that's ingrained in our country is coming out, seeping out of the pores of our country, and it's overriding. You know, it's overriding. Sorry about that, guys. I had a message pop up on my phone. It's overriding common sense and logic, you know, in terms of our decision making. You know, that's really, for the most part, all I'm gonna say for you guys as of right now. There's a lot more that I want to mention as it relates to Trump, but it's really not enough time to talk about it in terms of him putting in judges and you know, the border, just everything that this man does. I mean, it's ridiculous. We have to make sure to stay abreast of it, though. I know that you know, we're thinking about the 2020 election and everything, but there's some things that are just bigger than an election, which is humanity, and a lot of people's true colors are about to show via this impeachment. So make sure to stay abreast of that. Again, guys, make sure to subscribe to my page and watch, because going forward I will be doing JGiddins Nightcap videos, where every night I'm going to be sort of defragging my day with you guys and having a conversation, because I really just want to build our relationship. Shout out to the Yang Gang. I love you guys. If you're watching this, you are my family, unless you until you prove you're innocent until proven guilty. So you're my family unless you say otherwise, right? Shout out to all my patrons. I do have a few more patrons that came by to the patreon.com/JGiddins page and supported me. I really thank you guys for everything that you do. That's about all I got. Please remember to be positive, optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle, baby. Until later, it is your boy JGiddins out. I will see you tomorrow.